Hello, my darlings and desirous Madam Tilly, and I'm here with my good friends, Ty Donis.
How are you, Miss Tilly?
Sensational.
Glad to
And
hear it.
Nature Claus. And Nature
Ha!
Claus. There. Oh.
Wait, wait,
Hello.
we haven't found the entry point for the turtle yet. We're still looking. It, as
His
I'll
far as I
never, I'll
know,
never, I'll never reveal my secrets.
he's still in the walls.
That's the entry point. Well, that's maybe I shouldn't say that's not quite the entry point, but that's where at least where you heard the resonant screaming.
All right, Tilly,
Um,
we got to get some sheetrock and some spackle, and we got to cover up that hole.
Especially since I got
hey,
this
wait,
damn
hold up.
hurricane that's on top of me.
Well, you need lumber and nets, and I don't know what all you need in a hurricane, but yeah.
So what you're saying is there's a lot of new ponds to swim in.
Yeah. My driveway.
That I was gonna say that may or may not be flooded
Well,
infrastructure.
I was about to say, you also might want to watch out because I don't know that I've heard this is a somewhat common thing, especially in Florida. But alligators go flying and end up in pools.
Yes,
I
and
heard
sharks.
I've heard that's a fairly common occurrence, especially once it goes through the swamps and everything. Has it ever
Yes,
happened to you?
yes, I've heard that for alligators, and I've also heard of that for sharks. Genuinely.
Has that ever happened to you, Tilly?
No, I'd seen an alligator in this neck of the woods. So good there. Yeah, the frog population's gone up, but
I'm about to say, are you too far inland, or?
no, I'm only 5 miles away, short distance from the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh, okay. I guess you're just not near the swamps then.
Currently no. I know how to get to them.
Okay, that'd
But
probably be why. That's probably why the alligators don't pay you a visit.
I live on a high ground street, so I gotta worry about the flooding. It's just the wind.
Yeah, that's what my dad said with the last hurricane I guess the rainstorm that they had in Georgia, that they got like 28 inches in like a day or something. And he said there was a lot of the town in Georgia that got flooded, but him and his house were fine because they were up on the higher districts and everything.
Yeah, not to mention I live in a mobile home, so it's a couple feet off the ground.
Well, there you go.
But
I have only been to Florida once, and it was only very very briefly in a hotel before going onto a cruise ship, and that was with my family.
I kind of don't want to go to Florida because I heard the humidity is absolutely abysmal over there.
indeed.
And I'm a fat man and I don't do well in humidity.
Oh, you're gonna hate it here then.
Oh yeah, that's why I say
That's fair.
if I ever do visit Tilly, we're staying inside. Fuck going outside. There's people out there.
If, A friend was telling me
I would
that
much
he was-
rather it be cold and wet than hot and wet.
I had a friend who used to live in Rockford, Texas, and when y'all had a hurricane a few years back, that story sounded terrifying. Because
I guess that's too far south because you got to remember I'm in the Panhandle. I'm at the very tippy top of Texas. But
Yeah,
those hurricanes that go through the Gulf and everything, the winds do make it up here, and we've had winds like for us, a 40-mile-an-hour wind is nothing really all that uncommon. It's pretty somewhat common, especially during the summertime. But that time we had 70-mile-an-hour straight line winds, and we were not ready for that.
yeah, like he's saying how basically I heard a loud ass rattling, and his back door was basically shaking, and not like the regular way, but like it was actually twisting it on the hinges and stuff. Like it was only gonna pick the bolt lock, keeping it in place. But he
Yeah.
was basically holding that sucker down for like 3 hours until
I
he
remember-
finally saw his nail gun
Jeez.
and just nailed the fucker down.
I remember when that 70-mile-an-hour came through my town, and I had 2 trees in my backyard. Emphasis on had because one of them got blown over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. That was when Dad still lived here, and I was like, "Hey, you want some wood?" He's like, "Where did you get wood from?" "A tree fell over my backyard. You're more than welcome to it." He's like, "I'll be there in about an hour and a half. I'll be there with an hour with a chainsaw and a trailer."
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's already down, so might as well.
I mean, it's free wood, and he needed it for some of his projects at the shop. So I'm like, "Have at it. It's yours. It's free wood."
it's one of those things I can't probably say I can
Hey,
top
yo.
that. One time Hurricane Irving nearly killed me. Because this was that year, I think it was like 05, 06, where like we literally had 5 hurricanes in a row.
I remember that. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I was still in high school when that happened.
And so was Hurricane number 2, or Irving, where me and Dad were standing on the back porch, and he's like, "Hey, you better like move your shit out of your room because that tree is bending." And and I had done like
Hmm.
pre-packed, and I had everything sat like right in the middle of my floor. So I went in
It,
and got everything. And as soon as I closed the door behind me, I heard the loudest boom. I opened the door back
Oh.
open, and a tree had come right down where I was standing a second ago.
so are Floridians kind of like Texans in the respect where Texans will stay on their front porch and watch for tornadoes? Are Floridians kind of the same way when it comes to hurricanes?
Got
Yeah.
the like Daredevil like
Right
kind of
now,
like.
all my cats are on my porch, and they're loving it.
Really, I would figure they despise it
I don't
from
know. I think
the rain and wind.
Robert, this is Florida, so any must love a breeze.
And
But
you know what? That's a valid point. That's a valid point.
well,
It's humid 24/7 down there.
well, here's the question: how much is a breeze for you, though?
As long as I'm not sweating, it's great. Yeah.
I'm about to say, is it like a 10, 15, 20-mile-an-hour wind? Is that what you consider a breeze, or kind of a harder wind?
Honestly, yes. Oh man.
Man, I on one hand, I'm happy to live in an area that doesn't have such extreme weather conditions. I do live on, I lived in Pennsylvania, which is nowhere near any of the water.
I got a feeling up
Um,
there.
oh, nice. Yeah. So like most of the region is just like hills and forest, if not just Amish country. Like, you know, we still get the occasional blizzard and a heat wave, but like we don't get hurricanes or tornadoes, or if we get like the after effects of it and get like downpour for like however like a week or two. Um, but yeah, the 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 environment around it helps mellow things down slightly.
Yeah. Let's see here. Like, only reason we can actually podcast today is because work like closed up, like, and gave me the day off. Like, so it sucks. Yeah.
Hey.
Sucks I'm missing a full day's pay, but hey, this means I get a 4-day weekend.
There you go.
True. I mean, yeah, silver lining, you know.
Yeah.
Got to take the good with the bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So it's on the docket
So
for today,
gaming.
Andy.
Oh yes.
Okay. Let's see here. Where do I want to start? Yeah, I'm gonna let's just
Got a
focus.
list.
Yep.
Is there any artwork with this one?
Always.
There's always
Always.
artwork.
Okay. All
There-
right. All
there-
right. All right.
We always do artwork when it comes to.
Well, speaking of environmental shit, I guess we'll I'll put that in the live chat here. There's the
Yeah.
first thumbnail.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no!
Oh
What
boy.
Microsoft and their bots do now?
What are
Did
those?
they buy a nuclear power plant?
Yeah, those are nuclear silos.
What? Huh?
Yeah, those are nuclear. That's a nuclear plant.
So apparently, Microsoft is basically reactivating old power plants, just so they can use
Okay.
nuclear power to power their AI operations.
To
Oh.
some extent, I'm okay with this because nuclear power is like the cleanest form of energy.
I was gonna say it's actually a lot cleaner than a lot of people realize.
Like, I think the only one that is cleaner is the only two that are cleaner are wind and solar. But
Mhm.
nuclear is right under there. But where it does have a small effect, the output is much higher.
Yes. Tremendously high output.
Okay, so you don't have to worry about any radiation or explosions.
I
I mean, yes. If it melts down, that's bad. But like,
I think we've actually come quite a long way as far as nuclear technology is concerned, compared to one of the last big mishaps, which was in Japan a couple years ago. But at the same time, they're also getting hit with a tsunami. So it was just, and that was right after an earthquake. And that was two natural disasters back to back, and I think it just pushed the reactor to the critical point. But I think I heard that they shut it down before everything started melting down. But
which is good. Yeah.
And if
Like,
memory serves, the last big one before that one was Chernobyl.
Which that was basically a
mm,
converted bomb that didn't have any safety measures.
Yeah, no, that one.
less so a bomb and more just like slowly like if you take the contents of a nuclear bomb and then just melted it rather than burned it.
Yeah, and from what I've heard, a lot of nature has returned, and a lot of the radiation has gone down around Chernobyl. Like, obviously, you still can't go into the basement to see the elephant's foot without severe protection.
No.
No one
Because
survived that, actually.
yeah, no,
No,
but
no.
like you could get closer to it than you could before. Like, I don't think it's molten anymore. But
Send in a drone.
Nature's healing.
I mean, nature does heal all wounds. I will give nature this; it's a resilient bitch. But
Hey, don't talk about my mom like that.
I do what I want. Yeah, Chernobyl is actually doing very well compared, to 10, 15 years ago.
Oh
Even
yeah.
even to 5 years ago, it's state has drastically improved, and I think we are, if they hire the right people to do it, the people who are certified to run nuclear energy, that think that power plant can run Microsoft and whatever outlets, whatever power supplies it's connected to for years, if not decades, and not having any issues whatsoever.
A shame it had to be powering up to this whatever AI algorithm this happens to be. I mean, I guess it depends on what type of AI and what's it being used for.
True.
Do
I
we
mean,
know?
is it going to be the something kind of like what Google does now, like their AI that is like helping, helping people find things? Is it, the non-biased AI, or what are we
Do we
kind of
know specifically or?
No, we do not. But
Okay.
still, I thought
So
we were supposed to slow down
I'll.
on AI shit, but no.
Well, I imagine it
Yeah.
won't be just for Microsoft. I imagine they had to agree to some sort of, share the power law or something like that.
Yeah, that is my main concern. If this is like privately owned, like nuclear power plants, I'm not sure what to think of that.
Because I know
But like,
I know you can't privately. I know you can't. You could buy very small amounts of uranium privately, but to get the big stuff like what they use for the uranium rods for a power plant, you would have to get a government grant or even get government permission. And I think you have to supersede the state laws. I think you have to go to federal at that point if you're going for something to power a power plant. Like, is it just one power plant or several plants, Tilly?
they're restarting 3 Mile Island.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure where that's at.
Which is hold on.
Is that like New York?
I was it's not in California, is it?
Yeesh. Hold on. I'm trying to remember 3 Mile Island. Oh shit! 3 Mile Island is it's on the Susquehanna River, right near Harrisburg.
Where's that at? I can't remember.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like southeastern PA.
So, like I said, I'm cool with it because it could actually bring. The good thing is it'd bring a lot of jobs back. Especially
I'm trying to remember why
Well,
3
the jobs
Mile
ran by
Island
AI.
closed in the. Yeah.
Pardon?
Well, the jobs are also ran by AI.
Well,
I'm hoping they're not having an AI running a nuclear power plant.
yeah, no, you have to have humans run that because and I will admit that some AI is designed to help.
It's a cyber dive freaking hijacks that power plant.
Yeah, no. If Skynet gets a hold of it, then yeah, the whole northern part of the U.S. is fucked. But if they have to have, I know they'll have some form of AI helping the humans run it, which I'm fine with because the AI can catch things that people can't. But it would have to be an AI that has been run through basically put through the run through the
Hmm.
entire process several thousand times to make sure it knows exactly what to do.
Yeah, I'll reserve my judgment on how this is going to go. I'm cautious, but otherwise this doesn't sound like the worst thing in the world.
Okay.
Um,
Well, should we
yeah, still interesting, huh?
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not gonna lie.
well, let's hear your judgment on our next topic.
Oh boy.
Yeah, no, I already heard about this one. I know exactly where you're going
Oh,
with this with God of War
I actually
Ragnarok.
I actually don't know about this one.
I'll let Tilly take the reins on this one.
So, God of War Ragnarok has now come to PC, and
Yep.
it's being review
Okay.
bombed because
Oh.
Sony is pulling the same shit they did with Helldivers 2, with that you have to have a Sony account
Oh,
to play the
yes.
game.
Right, which even though it wasn't required for the PlayStation. Well,
Yeah.
I guess you need a PlayStation account to play PlayStation.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Well,
duh.
But like,
Says from a person who doesn't have a PlayStation.
Helldivers got away with it because it originally didn't require that, but they're making sure to do that
Right.
first now with their other releases. And so, I mean, it's God of War
Yeah.
Ragnarok's only available on PC in like 60-something countries.
Yeah, I can't
Mhm.
remember.
Like,
It's
not even
available.
Egypt.
I
Yeah.
can only remember
Unfortunately,
I
yeah.
can't remember countries.
Mhm. It's
Uh,
only in
ma-
I forget that.
established first world countries for certain.
Yeah, as far as I recall, it's a lot of the dead zones are central Europe, like Central Eastern Europe, Southeast Asia, and like major parts of Africa.
But
Basically, like you said, like third world, what is generally considered third world regions.
but
Um,
there is another reason why it's getting a lot of hate, Tilly, and
Yeah.
I know you're not gonna like it.
Oh boy.
mm,
It's because of of a company that is tied to God of War Ragnarok.
Oh.
Sweet Baby Inc. had a hand in making Ragnarok, and a lot of people are also not taking part of it because they refuse to buy anything that Sweet Baby Inc. has had their mitts on.
Well, so do you think it's a
Um,
mixture of Sony's bullshit and
it,
Sweet Baby
it,
Inc.?
it's a little bit of little column A, little column B.
Oh, okay, 'cause I was wondering, like, what's Sweet Baby Inc. got
No,
to do with, like, Sony requiring a sign up?
no,
Yeah.
no, definitely. Trust
yeah.
me, a lot of people are mad about that, and I am too. Because I believe if you bring something to PC, you shouldn't have to have the login for another platform to play something. But I also saw the numbers. It's only I think now. Granted, I know it just came out on Steam, or released on Steam and everything. But I think it had a max number of 5,000 ish players at peak, compared to the previous iteration, God of War, and I want to say Viking God of War because that's basically what it is. Because renaming
Yeah,
you
God of
have
War 20 was it 2020?
20,
No.
20
18. Or people usually call it God of War 4 or Dad of
yeah, God of War 4.
Yeah, God of War
Because
4.
it's complicated because you have God of War, the original one, then you have the other one, God of War, which is the new story, so people get confused. But yeah, basically God of War 4. The last peak was for that one was 10,000 players. Now, granted, I know it's a little bit higher. I think it's like a couple hundred more than 10,000, but 10,000 was like the high number for it. And I think for the Ragnarok for PC, 5,000, maybe 5,500, somewhere around there, was the peak for it.
Hmm.
It's still
So,
great
like I
Suicide
said,
Squad.
it's a little column A, little column B.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's basically attacked on two different fronts, which we have
It's
a
a-
similar story like that coming up.
Yep, I
Oh
think I might
boy.
know where I
Yeah.
might know where you're going with this because I heard
But
something this morning. But
Yeah, I don't have a lot of I don't have a lot of input on
But
this
like I
end.
explained in
Oh.
our earlier conversations too, it's like even even if Sweet Baby gets attached, it could still be a very good game, and it's also considered one of the best God of Wars.
it can be, but at the same time, I think it's because a lot of games that have worked with Sweet Baby have a lot of the stuff was changed uh,
Baggage.
and it was just no one liked it. It was just because a lot of these devs nowadays, and I get flack for this, and I don't care. Uh, You play what you want. I don't care what you play.
Hmm.
But at the same time, don't punish me for not playing it. Because
Right.
a lot of these games companies nowadays try to chase a modern audience, and I'm sorry, in my experience and from what I've seen with a lot of these numbers from a lot of these games that are coming out, the modern audience does not exist. Not the ones that they're chasing after.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I've definitely noticed that a little bit, that there is a growing disconnection between, I mean, it's been a thing for a while, a growing disconnection between the developers and like their actual fan base.
A lot of companies
Um,
now are basically shitting on their customers, and some of them have even come out and say, "Okay, if you don't like it, don't buy it." Well, they don't get the games don't get bought because the developers are not respecting the players, because the players do not owe these companies anything.
yeah,
We are only loyal to them if they deliver a sound product.
Yeah,
And if you pardon,
and aren't
which is kind of weird
assholes.
because for so long it wasn't like maybe the 2020s where like when people say you don't play, don't buy, and people still bitch and bought it anyway. You know, Madden. You know, um,
Yeah.
but
so
it's one of those things. I refuse to buy a lot of stuff if I'm not being I don't ask for respect because I think respect is earned. I don't believe it's freely given.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what a lot of people don't seem to realize. But whenever you basically say, "Oh, well, we hate you, we don't like you because of your race, your gender, your sexuality, and everything," if because
Mm-hmm.
you're told we don't like you because of reasons A, B, or C, or D, and then don't expect people to buy what you're shilling, because at that point you're not, people aren't respecting you.
wait,
And
are
me
you
and
saying that
Kelly,
you feel like these games are like not respecting you because you're white?
I have seen a lot of devs basically say we do not want white male gamers, straight white male gamers in playing our games. And and
Hmm.
some people are like, okay, if you don't want us playing your games, we're not buying them.
I
And
mean,
then
I
that, eh,
hmm. I
that-
I mean no disrespect. I want to see some sources on that. Of
give me, I'd have to look. Give me just a minute.
well, like,
yeah.
it's like, because I'll tell you, like one of like the big SJW agendas is that we're not trying to like, like race white men or anything. We're trying to basically we want to catch up with history. Like because like white males they dominate the space for so long. Now we're just trying to make the numbers even. You know, so I would like to hope that maybe like say like 2030s, white men and black men and all the other people would have games coming out equally. But who knows? But what I've been preaching with me and Tio talked about this multiple times is why can't games be inclusive of both sides? Why can't it appeal to both sides? You know, like like why can't we have your old school you know big titty sexy women, but also have our trans. Oh shit! I think the storm might have knocked me out of Discord.
Hmm.
Okay, let me. Come
Uh,
on, Discord. Sorry, a little lag on my end. On my
Sorry,
You
folks,
good?
my
PC.
You good?
internet got dropped there because hurricane, weather. So I guess I had to repeat half my rant. Um,
Please be
Very
safe.
unfortunate moment to have it cut out.
Yeah,
well, I was talking about SJW agendas and everything too.
you were on a
But
Oh
roll.
boy. Okay.
but no, because basically one of our agendas is we just want to we're trying to catch up with history. Like because how white guys dominate gaming for so long. And the protagonists,
Yes.
well, we just want to, we want to equal out those numbers with the females and the people of color and whatnot.
And
Um,
I'm all for it.
Hmm.
yeah, and
Yeah.
so I would like to hope I just wishful thinking though, but maybe like by like say the 2030s, white guys begin new IPs again at an equal rate as everybody else.
I mean, I think
I
everybody can share the spotlight.
Yeah,
And me and
Mhm.
Tilly have talked about this before. It was
Yeah.
like we're in agreement. I mean, granted, there's things we don't agree on,
Yeah.
but a lot of times
Mhm.
we do agree, and we're like I want everybody to share the spotlight.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
but the main thing I want, or the main thing we want
Yeah.
good games.
Yeah.
I want games with a good story. Oh gods, if you hook me with a good story,
Yeah.
I'll pay attention.
Yeah. I like
Mm.
for example, no matter how open or closed your heart is, because like it'd be nice if in a game you can either play as the woman of the 2000s that's skinny with the big anime bouncy boobies, or you can play
The
one.
Lara Croft treatment, yeah.
Yeah, or you can play the modern day woman that's representative of transgender culture. Or just regular looking woman. Or it'd be nice if we could have both. You could satisfy the right winged guys who are just horny, and we could also satisfy people who just want representation. You know,
A
what?
lot of it,
Why
a
can't
lot
you
of
put both
my
in the
take.
game?
Oops. Oh, sorry.
Go.
Sorry, I cut you off.
No, I was rambling.
Yeah. No, you're good. Most of for me, it's all about like consistency. Of like if you're like I think the example I gave last time was as like a minor example of this in terms of like gender ratio and gender like treatment of each gender was what they're advertising in Monster Hunter Wilds, where like the design where in the past, admittedly, the male designs were a lot. It's the classic RPG like. Female armors are more scantily clad,
Yeah.
whereas the male armors are typically more bulky and not revealing.
Yeah.
Whereas here, you can pick and choose.
Yeah.
Wow,
Um,
that one's not out yet, right? That's the new one coming out.
no, it's not out, but there's been a lot of
February.
conversation about it.
Okay, I didn't know if that one was
yeah.
out yet or not.
Yeah. So now you can be a
No.
buff dude in a G-string bikini.
There you go.
Yes, that's
I
the
mean-
shit.
I mean,
Yes,
if that's your jam, rock with it.
Yeah. It's
yes,
just,
yes. That's my whole take on is whether you personally enjoy it or not. Not having it be exclusive,
Yeah.
or if you're going to having inclusion, having representation is good. That's kind of the long and short of it. Is like if you're going to be bringing in stuff like that.
My take on this, and it's a hot take, but I'm all for representation, but I'm not for it if it's at the sacrifice of gameplay or story, or if the game just comes out just being 7 shades of bad, like nothing works.
and-
But if it's just to have representation in there, I'm like, okay, you got your representation, but at the same time, at what cost? The game doesn't work. Nothing, like none of the systems work. The UI's busted, or is just or really cumbersome and not fun to work with, because say you get a piece of new gear, then you have to fumble through the menu to put on the new gear, and it just kind of pulls you out of the immersion of the game. That's the only time I'm really not for a lot of diversity, if it's at the sacrifice of gameplay.
If I may interject,
Go for it.
I think I believe that that's much more of a game design issue rather than a writing problem.
yeah.
Of like, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. So, I literally just had a thought and it just jumped out the window. Thanks, brain.
Yeah, I'm well acquainted with that.
I'll interject real quick then.
Yep.
Yeah, go for it.
That. Oh, you go ahead and I'll.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
I'll interject. I'll interject when I remember.
We'll bring it back to God of War Ragnarok. That game does not suffer gameplay or UI or even story issues.
Oh yes.
Like it's pretty rare that gender politics is the reason why the gameplay sucks. Like,
that. There you go. Thank you. That's the point I was trying to make.
it might have happened,
Yes,
but you can probably count on one hand if that's the actual reason why we couldn't hire a fucking programmer.
Right.
If we gave all the money
I don't think
to the whatchamacallit, the consultants, so we couldn't hire a programmer. That's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
at that
think
point.
Yeah, if we're talking about the thought came
go.
back.
No, go.
Let the turtle speak.
Yeah, I like it. It's kind of what you already said. It's like I said. It's more about whether or not it's not a question of inclusivity necessarily. It's more about just how well it's written.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's about the execution.
Yeah.
Because it's not the inclusion of that in it alone that is bad, of course. It is how it is integrated and how it's executed.
Hmm.
And if with the way they write it or the way they program it, things fall flat. That's not an inclusivity issue. That's a programming and game design issue.
Like
Um,
I remember a while back, I got hate because of all the companions. That's a word. On Baldur's Gate,
mm.
in my opinion, Will was the weakest link.
Yeah, I
In
do
my
agree. I think his writing was very. Sorry, I cut you off.
uh, well, no, a lot of people gave me hell because Will is black, and I'm like, I didn't care.
Okay.
I didn't care if Will was black, blue, orange, or
Yeah.
he could have been a undergnome for all I care. I The
Mm-hmm.
only thing I didn't like the way his character was portrayed because personally, I don't like Boy Scout characters, like Superman or
Mm-hmm.
Captain America. I like the ones, the characters that, the anti-heroes. Um, so like Punisher, Spawn, um, Deadpool, even the heroes that have kind of like Iron Man, how he just gives zero fucks.
Well,
Well,
Mm-hmm.
Iron Man should
um,
be. You think Slug did war crimes? Holy shit, Tony.
oh yeah, no, oh no, I know Slug pales in comparison to Tony Stark.
Yeah.
But if it's a Boy Scout character, I'm not gonna resonate with it. I'm sorry. It's just not my flavor.
Mm, yeah, I
But
do.
and I think that's fair. If I don't like a certain
Yes.
kind of character
Yeah,
portrayal.
that's down to taste of character rather than like the character's
Hmm.
design or their appearance.
Well,
Um,
I got a couple things. First of all, would it be scary if Slug
mm.
qualified for that Tony Stark college tuition program?
Oh dear God, why would you put that out in the universe?
Yeah,
We've
remember
we've gone
thing?
full side tangent.
But bring it back though to like
Yeah.
Anita Sarkeesian even told me that like even sexualized women have a place in gaming. There's just an overabundance of them.
Correct.
Yeah.
I will 100% agree with that.
It's just
It
that
is. Yeah.
yeah, because like it's like because like a lot of us lefties are like well because the enemy is like people who think like all women should just be has to be a character that you can jack off to like that equals your value or something.
Yeah.
Like that, and that's who we're kind of that's the weirdest we're trying to deal with, and like I said, there should be room for in any game for both.
Yes.
Like I said, like trans should be in every game, but it shouldn't just be some random NPC in the hallway. But you don't have to sacrifice beautiful
Ideally.
women for them.
Yeah.
They could be a squad mate or create a character option or just or like one of the side characters, if anything. And like I said, like and plus we should still be giving white guys some credit too. Like like we can make them look cool. Give them an IP at least one a year. Or like or like the one white guy that was in Concord. At least make him look cool as hell.
Yeah,
There's
I
gonna be a
still
white
laugh.
dude looking fucking badass.
He was. I'm not gonna. Oh God, I have to pull his image up a little bit.
Just look at Team Fortress 2 Scout.
Yeah. Look, I mean,
Hmm.
look at anybody from Team Fortress 2. I mean, the problem is all of them are batshit insane, especially heavy.
Yeah, but
Especially
that's kind of the point.
especially heavy weapons guy. I'm sorry, I love him, but
Mhm.
he's dumber than a box of rocks, and he's just as crazy.
He's basically an
point of
ogre
the
in that
character.
Oh no, Oh God, Stilly, you are so right. He is an ogre.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely the same archetype. Big, slow, big, brutish.
Fucking throw
Pure
little
of
box of
heart. Well,
grenades.
maybe not pure of heart, but dumb of ass.
Yeah.
Um, you know.
And don't mess with his sandwich, by the gods.
Oh jeez.
I've seen I've seen less terrifying war crimes done by the other people than what a heavy weapons guy will do for his sandwich. But I'm just like, fuck that. My train of thought just derailed. Fuck me.
I can always bring up that
You're
topic.
good. You're good. It literally just happened to me.
I'll go to the bathroom real quick and you can pick up with it. It's just
Yeah, go. It might come back. I don't know.
Yeah.
Go ahead and go potty.
Mm-hmm.
Gods, I hate my head sometimes.
it is a pain. I fully get it. It is a pain in the ass.
Oh, trust me,
Um,
there are times I could go on hours and hours on ranting and rambling and everything, and not lose my train of thought once. But then when it comes to something, kind of trivial, I'm
mhm.
passionate about it, I would be like, and it's gone.
I forget if I asked this before or not. Do you have ADHD? Do you know?
Oh yeah, oh definitely, dude. I know I do.
Okay, okay. Gotcha, gotcha.
I was put on Ritalin as a child to try to counteract it.
Right. Oh, sorry. Yes, yes, yes. No, no, sorry. Now I remember you talked about this. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I might have brought it up once in a previous episode. I don't know if you were a part of it. I don't think you were.
I do remember you talking about it though. So
I
whether it was on or off stream,
It might have been when
or on recording.
it might have been when we're all kind of hanging out and chilling one night. But yeah,
Maybe.
because I know we haven't really hung out a whole lot. Because I know it's been this time and last time, and I think maybe
Oh yeah,
I think 2 or 3 other
mhm.
times previous.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, I was put on Ritalin as a kid, and that comes with a whole plethora of side effects and everything. But yeah, no, I do have ADHD, and my buddy
Mhm.
Dalton, who's my co-host and technically my boss on the Memento Morons,
Mm.
he straight up asked me one time, "He's like, dude, do you have ADHD?" I was like, "Yeah." Did I not tell you this? He's like, "That answers so many questions." I was like,
Okay.
he's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Oh, it's because
Well,
you."
we were
When I
talking about
was
ADHD.
when I was telling him, was like, Dalton asked me straight up, "Do you have ADHD?" And I was like, "Yeah." Did I not tell you? He's like, "That answers so many questions. It explains why you like to ramble on about Red Dead and everything." And I was like, "It's a game I'm playing now. I will rant and rave
It's the
about that thing."
hyperfixation.
Oh, dude, the hyperfixation is fucking real. I use it. I say this and I get hell for it, but I don't care. It's like I weaponize my autism. I
uh,
if I'm interested in something, I will dive headfirst into it, and I have to know everything about it. The problem is, I also tried to learn everything about 40K, and my head almost exploded.
Oh dear, no,
we'll talk
no,
more about that soon.
don't.
But like, did you want to dive headfirst to that topic, or did you remember what you wanted to say?
I can't. I'm drawing a complete fucking blank.
All
Let's
right.
go to the next subject.
It's fine, it's fine. We've kind of run the topic into the ground a little bit.
Wait,
Oh,
hold on. I gotta put this up on Verizon so I can actually see it. Free stars. It's got cloud.
Foam Stars? Whoa, wait, what's the? Okay, maybe it's because I'm not familiar with the game behind it.
It's something to do with that's Cloud, and I think the main character from 16.
How have I never heard of this game?
What do y'all have in common?
Foam. So it's Foam Stars.
They're RPGs, and they're from
No.
Square Enix.
There you go.
Oh, it's
Tito, we talk about this. How Square Enix is never satisfied.
oh,
They're like,
God.
well, they're like, yeah, FF7 Rebirth did not meet our expectations, even though we don't explain.
It keeps growing and expanding. The expectations keep going higher.
Yeah, like it has required reading, and you have to play the last game. You can't just jump right into it. And two, it was PS5 exclusive, which is what all 3Ds have in common.
Yeah.
So, and that is technically, unless you want to count the Vita, the worst selling PlayStation console to date.
I had a Vita, and I actually liked it.
Yeah, I want one too.
From what I heard, it wasn't bad. Yeah,
it was not a bad little handheld. It was actually pretty powerful. It was just marketed completely wrong, and it came out in the wrong time of history.
Yeah.
If it came out about 5 years earlier, I think it would have been a hit.
Oh yeah.
Was that almost when the DSi was getting big?
Also, remember Sony gave up on the PlayStation Move in like 60 days.
Yeah, they didn't. That thing did not have a life.
But like,
I think the PlayStation Move also came out way before its time.
So yeah.
But please tell me they're not making a MOBA.
No. So for one, okay, so this one's multifaceted here. FF7 did not Rebirth did not meet expectations.
Nope,
so you could literally say, hey, Sony, we sold 300 trillion copies, and you're like, yeah, but we were trying to sell 500 trillion.
Yeah.
Shame.
I was gonna say like it's because it all goes back to the expectations of basically going back to Final Fantasy 14 at a certain point. If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Like the bar was so fucking high that it keeps when they look like, okay, we need to hit this again. You know,
I'm-
even though it's almost it's improbable.
Actually,
Um,
I'll talk about these in level of importance here. So it's 16 naming expectations, but it's now on PC. So
mhm.
Yep.
no excuse.
Okay.
And then Phone Stars, which is now they're kind of like their Splatoon ripoff. Which
I mean, it looks
I didn't even
cute.
know it came out yet. Turns out it was a
I
PS5 exclusive.
I didn't even know this game.
Oh.
I didn't know this game existed.
I've never heard of this game before. Yeah, I mean,
saw this on one of
the
the
designs are
E3s or
cute.
something.
I will admit, I do like the designs.
Oh,
But other
yeah.
than that, I have no.
But imagine
It kind-
Splatoon gameplay, but instead of ink, it's foam. So it's very colorful, lots of
Ugh.
neon stages. You know,
I was about to
it's
say,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
you know what I'm getting from the blonde dude in the bottom left?
yeah.
I'm
Glam
getting
rock.
like glam rock. Thank you. I was
Yeah.
thinking 80s metal off of him.
Oh, I should show you all the trailer for the game, but it looked very nice. But yeah, because I didn't even know it came out. But apparently it was on PS5 exclusively. I would have played this, if it was on PC or
Mhm.
something.
Oh my god.
So now
sorry, I
they're
just
like,
looked up the announced trailer. That was a year ago. How did
Yeah.
I not hear of this?
Did
Yeah.
we? Was
I don't know if you and
before
me,
we
but
started
I remember seeing the trailer. But
I was going to say, was this before we started doing the reactions, Tilly? When this was announced?
I'm not sure.
I
But
think this had to be before we started doing this.
But yeah, so they're like, okay, instead of just making it multi-platform, we're just gonna make it free to play now. I'm like, oh, just make it multi-platform, you
Okay.
idiots.
Yeah, make it multi-platform. I would say make it free to play, but
That can also have can make it. They'll
Well,
counteract that with
the-
microtransactions and make it super
true,
heavy.
but at the same time, a lot of people hate microtransactions. But at the same time, just like what happened with Concord, a lot of people don't want to shill $40-50 dues for a game that, I guess,
And I'm not for a
No,
new
but-
IP that no one
Yeah.
knows about. Yeah, that's
It-
that's a fair point.
it's a big
I
ask.
think.
So I mean, I would say make this multi-platform, make it free to play, so that way people actually could get dip their toes in the water and see if they even like it.
Yeah, like multiplayer-wise
Mhm.
shouldn't be exclusive to anything.
Yeah.
I mean, we do
Honestly,
have-
if it's just sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say we do have the technology where, and there are some games where everybody can play nice together. I mean, Diablo 4 is one of them. You can play with PlayStation, Xbox, and PC players all together. I think they could play with Switch. I think D4 came out on the Switch. I can't remember.
I
know-
don't feel qualified
know you
to
can-
speak on that.
Well, I know you can play with a PC. You can play with Xbox and PlayStation because I have played with my brother, who plays on his Xbox, and I played with a buddy of mine who is on his PlayStation. So the technology is out there.
Right. I was gonna say I myself am not super familiar with how getting cross-platform to work.
It's basically
Um,
you have all three major platforms, basically, or all four technically. Basically, have to have a meeting of the minds and see if this is going to be a worthwhile endeavor.
Yeah,
What
which
I have heard. Now, I might be
Mhm.
very doing a gross oversimplification of it, but I think that's the general gist of it. All four superpowers basically have to come together and say, "Hey, let's make this where everybody can play it together." And we'll go, and if we do this, all of us will reap the benefits. I think.
Yeah.
I might be wrong.
And then bringing it back to Final Fantasy VII, but yeah, we
Okay.
established why it didn't make money because one, it was exclusive to one single platform. Two, it
Mhm.
was required reading, and
Yep.
three, which this also applies to
Yes.
16, is that the graphics are too damn nice. Like this game had to be so expensive. Like games need to start downscaling.
Yes.
Yeah, I had to look.
I never thought I would see the day where I would request the quality go down just so like
I remember back in the PS3 era when I remember playing Star Wars Force Unleashed. I'm like, I could see every freaking wrinkle and line on this guy's face.
Yep.
We don't need a hyper realistic. It's going to cost you billions of dollars when you can
Oh,
use
yeah.
that money to make 3 more
Yeah.
games.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like how I had to fight with Space Marine too at the little bit at the beginning. I'm just like, okay, you are a graphic hog. I have to turn a little bit of you down. And I will admit, I only had one spot maybe two spots in the campaign where where the FPS dropped, but in the game's defense, that was at the end of the game, and there was a lot going on, and I know that Saber Interactive has if improved, if not perfected, their swarm engine, which is why you're able to see all those Tyranids, and on their zombie game, I forget which one it was, where you're able to see I think it's the one with the motorcycle biker on it.
Days Gone.
Yeah, Days Gone. I think they were on part of that one as well, and that's where you had that massive horde of zombies a lot of the time. But I'm just like, you guys, you knocked it out of the park, but there was a lot of stuff going on where my FPS was like, we can't do it.
But thirdly, so essentially, Final Fantasy VII Remake 3 is technically paid for.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's coming out, but it's very unlikely it's going to make it.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, like
maybe release it on every platform. You got a chance.
I agree, and I know that Xbox for some reason has an aversion to anything Final Fantasy.
I mean, they do add them on there, but it's just weird. Cause I've seen plenty of them on the Game Pass.
I think it's because some of it has to be they have to be begged, or one of the two has to basically beg for the license.
Yeah, like I actually have a copy of GFF7 on my Xbox. But,
oh God.
I was gonna say they need to when what do we want to call it? What was it? Remake, rebirth? I don't know what the third one's gonna be called. But probably
Reunion, probably.
Yeah. When Reunion comes out, you need to release the first two games in a combo pack at a discount. Like sell the first two for $40 or something.
That's actually not a bad idea.
That's not a bad call. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because those games, Rebirth and Revision or whatever the fuck those two games are called, they've been out for how long now?
Remake came out in 2020 or 2021.
Okay, so not horribly
Something
long
like
ago.
That?
So yeah.
Yeah.
Not horribly long.
Yeah, it's still fairly newish.
Yeah.
But, not to the part where it needs to be, 40, 50%.
Yeah.
Discount, but put it like
we should have to pay $60 minimum for each of the trilogy.
Yeah, no, that's a
big. Do you want to pay $200 for a trilogy?
Hell no, that's a big ask, and even though and even if it was for a franchise I really adore, even I couldn't justify shilling that much.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's just a big topic because it's technically a two-topicer. All right. Now this first thumbnail is one of my simplest ones, but I just thought it was fucking funny looking. Okay.
I mean, you are a banger at making these. Oh, what did Lord get? Oh, yes.
Wait,
I heard about
what?
that. Ubisoft came crawling back to Gaben.
Yeah.
Because their platform is ass. Like, I checked the stock this morning and I sent Tilly a message.
Yeah.
Their Ubisoft stock this morning is $2.25. They are at risk of liquidation.
No.
So Ubisoft came.
Yeah, I heard about that
back.
recently.
Yeah, Ubisoft came crawling back to Steam.
Yeah, because unless you already own the Ubisoft game on your Steam library, you can't find it, for the longest time. Until now.
Yes.
Yeah, Gaben.
Oh my God.
Lord Gaben does nothing, still wins.
Yep.
The only thing he can't do is the only thing that man can't do is count to 3.
Yeah, pretty much.
I will always love Lord Gaben.
Oh, God damn it! That took me a minute.
I still every now and again I'll look online because there's a channel every year they do a different Steam summer sale video. Like one of them was a guy was playing a game and all of a sudden you hear the "Are you ready for a miracle" song come up, and it has Gaben as Jesus and everything. And
yes.
Crawling
I
away
forget where I first saw that. Yes.
The guy tries crawling away from his PC. His wallet flies out of his back pocket, latches onto the disk drive, and you hear ba-ding, 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 and it goes to the email. It's like, "Thank you for your purchase." It's like a long list. He's like, "No, Gaben, stop!"
Oh God.
Didn't they actually announce Half-Life 3 now properly? Like, is that actually a thing they're working on?
I think that might have been a shit post.
I thought there was something official on like a new Half-Life game recently, or I might be misremembering.
God, I remember pulling my friend away from the computer once because of the Steam sale. Yeah, like the Steam Christmas
Oh, they're
sale.
bad.
Hmm.
What
Yeah,
I
like
do
Oh,
I was
every
like, you
year, what
already
I
own
am a very
Bioshock Infinite,
frugal.
and he's like, it's
uh,
50% off though.
I look
Oh my fucking god.
I do this every year. A week before the Steam summer sale, I disconnect my credit card or my debit card from my I disconnect my debit card from Steam until the summer sale is over. I've gone 3 years without buying a new game from the summer sale. Lord Gaben, he gives generously, but there are times I'm like,
Oh
if
yes.
I buy one game, I'm gonna buy several other ones.
I I'm a very frugal person,
Hmm.
and so I honestly I think it's only during those Steam sales that I actually do buy anything.
Like
Right.
if there's a game I have been wanting for a very long time and I just have yet to buy it,
Mhm.
or have yet to pull the trigger on buying it,
Oh
or if it's
yeah.
been full price the entire time, then I'll buy it on the summer sale or even the winter sale.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm
The
sure.
only game I oh,
I was gonna
you
say,
go
I'm
ahead.
sure you're frugal. That's gonna force some Ubisoft stock. Ayo.
Hey.
Hell,
But yeah, the only game.
I could buy 1,000 shares.
Yeah, $2,000
But yes,
laying around.
damn, I wish.
All right, I'm sorry.
But yeah,
I meant 200 shares. My
Okay.
apologies.
tomato potato. But yeah, the only game I actually did buy, like part of the hype, and the first game I actually pre-ordered in recent memory because I generally don't encourage pre-ordering.
I did one time.
Yeah, the only time I did it recently was actually Space Marine 2, which goes into the net. No, actually, I don't know if that's
I'm a
the next
little
part.
upset. I'm a little upset. Uh, this hindsight's 2020 that I didn't pre-order because
Mm.
I didn't look at because I was looked at the pre-order bonus and it said the McCrag champion, and I was like, I don't want anything to do with the Ultramarine. I didn't look at the Pauldron, which is the Crux Terminus Pauldron, and I was like, I want that
Hmm.
because that signifies that Space Marine has
You're a
earned the right.
veteran.
Well, no,
Yes.
it signifies you've earned the right to wear tactical dreadnought armor, aka Terminator armor. I don't have
Oh
that.
yes, yes.
So the one I used to
It.
replace it is the one I used when I linked my Pro account with my Steam account, and it gave me the company master pauldron, which is a half red, half black
Mm.
pauldron with a skull in the middle. I don't see that one used that often, but
Yeah.
I've seen a handful of the Crux Terminus armor, and I was like, or pauldron, and I was like, I want that, and I regret it. But I imagine that they have done stuff where the pre-order eventually comes onto the market, so
We'll see. I
it don't
hope it
happen
does,
all
but I
that
wouldn't be
often.
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't.
It don't happen that often. But I do know on Space Marine, the first one they had the Relic Bolter and a Relic Chainsword, and eventually those made it onto the market. But this was
Mhm.
years after the game came out.
Right.
All right. Actually, let's step away from Ubisoft and let's well, rate on EA.
What they do
Oh
now?
boy. I was gonna say, do we even need to?
Oh God.
Is there a Sim 6?
Oh no.
Or is it? Or sorry, it's yeeting away the 6.
Okay, so well, Sims 5 ain't even out yet, but basically they're gonna say Sims 5 is gonna be the last Sims because we're gonna do away with the whole sequel model. And so basically it's gonna be Sims forever.
Oh.
So essentially, they're gonna break down the foundation, and they're just gonna make DLC, for years and years and years to come.
Oh
Bro.
god, they're gonna pull a they're trying to pull a
Well, hold on.
D and D20 or whatever the fuck the new edition was.
Well, let's see how much the Sim. What was it? Sims 4 was the last one that came out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see what the DLC is going for. All the DLC together.
I was gonna say, how many hundreds of dollars?
Okay, first pause that. I don't need simian music going on in my headset. There should be.
Malafirtnaz? Javimni Hornzagwam.
Let's see. For all of the, go away. All of the DLC. $1,284.18, and that is for every single DLC. Like this one, the horse ranch expansion, $40 dues. A lot of them are about 9.99.
Uh,
There's a couple that are 19, a couple that are 5.
oh,
There's
excuse
a,
me. Sorry.
there's one called Eco Lifestyle. That's $40 dues. Oh
Okay.
god, there's a lot of them that are 40. Like Cottage Living Expansion, Get Famous,
Oh,
Discover
and I
University.
thought Paradox was bad with their DLC.
Oh no,
Oh,
the Sims are the king of overpriced DLC.
that that is too much.
Yeah, no, I can't
Without
justify.
saying, that's
So,
too much.
are
I
you ready
can't
for
justify
Sims
that.
Forever?
No.
I'm remembering why I never got much into The Sims, unfortunately, and this is one of those reasons.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely ridiculous what they're going for now. The problem is I
Mhm.
can't say a whole lot because it has made them money, but at the same time, it's
Uh,
one of those things like,
Right, unfortunately, they know it works.
yeah,
yeah.
people are. It's one of those things. People are gonna buy it, and
And what's the plot of The
Mhm.
Sims?
there's no
Well,
plot. It's
well,
all it
well, The
is.
Sims. It's.
It's
Have you
basically
played any of the Sims games?
Not really, but I
it,
think it's
it's
a life simulation or something.
Okay.
it's basically life
Yes.
simulation. That's all it
Yeah,
is.
it's a life simulator game. I always call it a digital version of Dollhouse. Um, the whole point is like you're literally playing out a character or family or whatever, just getting a
You remember?
job, getting.
You remember last month or the month before, Tilly, when we were laughing at that one game where it was like developer the game?
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
basically
game dev.
well, it was called something else, but we called it game dev. It was
Yeah.
dev the game, but it was that's basically The Sims on crack.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're like basically you create the town, create the restaurants, you create the menu in the restaurants, you create how the restaurants are ran and managed, and then you basically create every little system for this
It went
game.
into every little minutia.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we laughed and we called it dev the game.
Yeah.
Which
Like we're
admittedly,
providing concept.
I know there is absolutely a market for that. Like, already knowing about The Sims, like there are very definitely people who very much enjoy the minutia, the little things, the little logistics of going through. Like this does not surprise me in the slightest that there is a game that went whole hard ass into it.
Oh no, they went all in on this marketing
Yes.
style.
Yeah, which not my type of thing. There is a point where the minutia gets a little tedious for me. Sims, I think, is like right on the cusp of that where it starts getting a bit much.
Well, the
For my
problem
personal taste.
one of the things is a lot of people don't like The Sims is because of sometimes it can get to the uncanny valley. As well.
Yeah, I can also understand that with with the models, unfortunately.
Like
I do get that a bit.
I remember a couple years ago with people I don't associate with no more. They made
Mhm.
a big house in The Sims and put all of us in there. We all got to kind of design our own rooms and everything.
Oh.
And I mean, it was kind of fun to watch for about a half hour just to see what kind of fuckery the AI would put us through. But
Mhm.
after a while, it's just like, okay, this is. I'd rather actually play a game where I actually have control of everything. Where I can,
Mhm.
where there's a bullet time. Where I can actually, go and do murders on, foul, scum or something.
It's the same appeal as like watching an ant farm.
More like
I kind of compare it to, which some people
yeah,
really enjoy stuff like that.
yeah. And if that's your cup of tea, have at it. I just don't expect me to follow your footsteps on that one.
Imagine if like somewhere out there there's like a woman takes care of Sims better than she takes care of her own family. This is just
I
like,
guarantee it's happening. I
That
guarantee it's
dear.
happening. I guarantee
You
it's
know
happening.
that's an article out there already. You know that's an article out there.
okay.
Um.
So this next one I think looks pretty fucking baller.
Ooh. Ooh.
That
Okay, I'm not sure about what the Reese's are doing there, but ooh.
It's because Slug loves Reese's.
Yep.
I mean, yes, I was like Netflix Reese's original.
It's probably a documentary.
I'm still kind of disturbed at what you sent me at 1 a.m. with that damn Slug, Tilly.
Yep.
He sent me a picture of that slug. He's like, I'll watch him sleep while you steal his Reese's cups. And then she had her slug or their head stuck in the bag of the Reese's, the little mini Reese's. She's like, okay, I got him. Let's go. Because Tilly
So
knows
is
I do not like that slug. Its eyes stare into your soul. It's like a fucking Furby, and I hate those things.
I was about to ask, is it like that, say, like Furby, like cute but creepy uncanniness?
No, it was a cat meme.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'll have to send. I think I still have it.
Later.
But yeah. So it looks like The Witcher, Tomb Raider, Magic, Splinter Cell, and Cyberpunk are coming to Netflix.
I was gonna say, are they getting more? Are there more Netflix originals coming out for them? Because I know Witcher already did.
There's more.
There's more. Damn. I'm looking forward. Like, admittedly, I did kind of fall off on The Witcher a little bit. I might pick it up at some point. I've heard it's still pretty decent. So yeah, Cyberpunk. I'm looking forward to. I don't know as much about Splinter Cell or Magic or Tomb Raider to add the 2 cents on that. Though I'm also a little hesitant on like video game, film and TV adaptations have been very mixed.
Well,
in recent memory.
Well, I haven't heard Splinter Cell in a long time, and the last time I heard of anything happening with Sam Fisher is when they brought him in on Rainbow Six Siege. And there were a lot of people like, "Who the hell is this?" And a lot of the old timers were like, "You motherfucker! You do not know who the fuck Sam Fisher is? He is one of the best spies in video game history. How dare you?"
So altogether, yeah, we got a new Cyberpunk anime. It's those not being made by Studio Trigger, so that makes it a little sus. But hopefully, it'll be just as good.
Do we know what company?
I don't. I didn't look it up.
But you're the one doing the news shit. What do you mean? Not looking for your sources, SMH.
Listen, we kind of do.
Actually, that's a fair point. You just went through a hurricane. I'll give you some slack. Sorry.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, if you look in the live chat, that's the cat that influenced that.
Okay. That's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you say
that.
Though
I can understand why.
You say that, and then that slug also has the eye lasers.
In the right context, seeing that at like 2 a.m. in the staring at you from the other side of the room would in fact be terrifying. But yeah, do we know anything about the adaptations for the shows other than that they're happening? Or
right now, I'm looking up on the Cyberpunk one, see if I can get any.
I'm about to say, I imagine you're just gonna find the stuff of the
for Edge Runners.
Let's see here. Not a little vague, but I'm sure if I dig deep enough. But Splinter Cell, some people are upset because it's not going to have Sam Fisher's voice actor. I'm like on sides. And Magic the Gathering, that could not be good, because it's like D&D. It's very vague.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
Tomb Raider.
There's a lot you can do with that, depending on what setting, quote unquote, or what
expansion
region. Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of funky shit you can do with it, though. I don't doubt that, but we'll see. I'll reserve my judgment.
And I imagine they're not going to be able to get Angelina Jolie to reprise her role as Laura.
Oh no, the trailer looked really good. The only people really complain about are people who bring old sexy Laura back. Those weirdos.
Nah.
But other than that, though,
honestly,
great.
Honestly, current Lara Croft is still hot.
Yeah.
Like, don't. She's like, even without the over exaggerated features, she's still hot. Like, don't even joke yourself.
No, I want the first iteration. I want block Laura back.
Yeah.
Oh, the polygons.
Yes, I want PlayStation 1 Laura back. Bring her back, you cowards. You won't. That's right,
God.
Netflix. I'm calling you out. Bring back Polygon Laura.
if there was a fully animated episode of Polygon Lara Croft,
I'd laugh my ass off.
Yeah, like she had a dream sequence. Or
updated
something.
designer, no. I think that would just be. I think they could pull it off if it's very campy.
That'd be a great shit. That would be a great A shit.
Yeah.
Also, no lie, I kind of want this set up.
Okay,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Fucking 6 monitors. Jesus Christ.
And a new Witcher anime.
Like. New Witcher anime?
Yeah.
Okay, so looking like a lot of anime.
Excuse me?
Yeah, all these are animated series. So.
I mean, if they handle the IP with care, I imagine it would be okay. But considering what happened to The Witcher last go around after Henry left, where it just immediately died. Because
I mean, I liked it for what it was, because even before the first season came out, they're like, is this going to be different from the books? I was prepared for something different. And I thought it was still pretty good. Like, actually made me a Witcher fan. Believe it or not.
Is it Witcher Sirens of the Deep?
That
they're talking about?
I imagine they'll release more info once it gets closer to the
Yeah,
day.
because I find this very vague shit on the Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk Orion, I think it might be called.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things, kind of keep your ear to the ground, but I imagine we probably won't hear anything this year. It'll probably be next year before we hear anything about these.
Sorry. Okay, this will be the last thing, and then we can move on. I looked up Cyberpunk Anime 2024 to see what results I would get, and I just get Terminator 0.
Yeah, that's anime.
Yeah.
Also getting
like hold on.
I think they're trying to keep everything hush hush and under the carpet, which is a good thing.
Fair enough.
Because I imagine there will be some leaks that will come out eventually, but considering this is like breaking news, I imagine that we're only given the names, and even then, not even the full name. So, and I imagine if it's this early in development, I'm willing to bet we're not going to hear anything about it until next year, considering how late in the year we already are.
Or even 2 or 3 years, I'm thinking.
Well, like I said, we might hear more, but as far as
touche.
As far as the series itself's coming out, probably 2 or 3 years before this even sees the light of day.
I remember it was 2 years ago, so they might be halfway done or something. Oh,
Maybe.
Also, apparently Tomb Raider's already been confirmed for a second season too, so that's good news.
Oh, I never did check out the first season.
It doesn't come out yet, I think.
It hadn't even come out.
Basically, they're saying
sorry, it didn't come out. Right. Oh my God, duh.
It did the same thing with the Acolyte, where they had 2 seasons, but we know. How
okay, before it even released. Okay, which
I watched the first episode so far. It's pretty good.
Okay, all right. I'll be curious.
I haven't watched it mainly because I've kind of dropped off of being a Star Wars fan years ago. I started not liking it after what was it, episode 7?
Okay. When it got good? No.
I just didn't like it. That's just me. I was just like, it's basically A New Hope.
But and also it's just as intimidating to get into as Warhammer.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of lore.
Because even then they reset everything, so a lot of the canonicity is kind of bunk on the old stuff.
And then sometimes I hear okay, we're bringing this back into the canon, and we might be resetting that. So it's so inconsistent.
Well, here's the thing: a lot of people are mad with Kathleen Kennedy because someone was bitching and like, well, we have no source material, and all the Star Wars fans were like, bitch, you have all these other books and comics.
I was gonna say, do you want the list of media?
It's like you have all these books and comic books and everything else, and you said that they're no longer canon, and now it's just a fantasy for those exist, and we're like, you have all this canon right here, use it. You have all this material, use it.
Yeah.
Which I don't get why they uncanonized in the first place, but
I know. My guess is because they wanted to make something of their own, which is fine, but at the same time, don't decanonize something and then try to make something canon.
Yeah,
new.
if it was if they tried to do like a cleaned up version of the old canon, because I know there's a bit of jank and mess with a lot from what little I do know, that's that there is some stuff that probably shouldn't be converted, but to it's like for like modern setting, modern audience, but like I trying to hit the reset button and then try to like cherry pick like, oh, this is actually canon, it feels a little um I don't know if disingenuous is the right word.
You know
um
that meme of the guy in the Hangman's News looking over going, first time?
Mhm.
yeah,
That's comic book fans right now. Like, bro,
Yeah.
we get a
that's a fair
reset every
point.
2 years. You know?
I think I'm realizing now why I never got into comic books. I never got into superheroes. I never got super deep into Star Wars. Uh, like I'm noticing a pattern.
But it's like, instead of like decanonizing, I'll just say it's a new version. You know? Because that's what comic books do
Yeah.
every 3 years. We reboot after like 50 or 100 issues. Then we do another, quote, run. You know?
Like the last big reboot, quote unquote, was like for DC, and that was a Crisis event. But to be fair, that actually kind of normalized everything, where where the writers weren't just doing whatever the hell they wanted with Superman, where he can, end the universe with a fucking sneeze, making up
Hmm.
powers on the fly. That kind of like gave Superman kind of a baseline of abilities that he had. So, um,
So if you think that you disagree with that Superman, wait till next year's Superman.
yeah, no,
So if you think Star Wars
Yeah.
is inconsistent, comic book fans are dealing with this all the time. You know,
Oh boy.
and the
yeah.
bad,
And I hate it
and
even more.
And here's the thing:
No.
some of those reboots hit home and they're great, but what also people aren't considering are some of these runs are not are people what are not liked at all, and it could be a number of different things. It could be it's just a bunch of different things. Some runs are successful, some things aren't, and that's kind of like the unspoken of thing. Is like we you don't know until you actually get to dive into it yourself and look and see what hit and what flopped.
And so again, you don't like it, wait till next year. Like
Yeah,
literally, like because like 60, so many people had bad faith on X-Men '97, and when it came out, like, oh, it's like the second coming of Jesus. You know. So, uh, speaking of possible second comings, nah, I'm kidding.
Oh, I was like, what does this have to do with gaming news?
Second of Kevin and keep a creepy slug face though.
oh no.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah,
What do you mean? Is Concord just even more on fire? Like what?
$400 million is what it cost Sony.
Oh, that bad. Okay, so it is even more on fire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone, a lot of people were thinking, oh, it probably cost them 100 mil, maybe 200 mil, and we're high, and people were like, we're highballing 200 mil. No, $400 million is what Concord cost
What the
Sony.
I know
fuck?
some people are saying like that cannot be true. Because the game doesn't even make
That
50 million.
it's
But
right. It's like, did it? I mean, I guess actually thinking about it genuinely, hearing about the fact that they did from the ground up multiple character designs like
Like
several times over.
18 months before the game was released, they had to bring in
That
a whole bunch
Yeah.
of dev to help catch it up to make an actual
yeah,
playable.
Mhm.
so allegedly, basically,
that actually explains a few things. Like,
Because when Sony got their hands on it, it did not work at all. Nothing worked.
yeah, like if they're basically trying to recreate the same character, like different multiple things, characters to a certain point, the entire game from scratch again. That puts the 400 million. Or sorry, was it 400 million? 400 billion.
400 million.
400 mil.
Almost half a billion
yeah.
dollars.
Which is still a fucking lot, but like that explains it more.
I think
Why it burned so much money.
I think
Like,
this has gone on record as the most expensive video game flop in history.
because essentially,
that's a hard one. That's a hard one to beat. I'd have to see the numbers, but
oh yeah, like
I would not. This is definitely on the list.
Last of Us 2, I think, cost like $200 million. And the next, like Spider-Man 3, when it eventually comes out, that's reportedly, they put $350 million. So, yeah, it's technically the most expensive video game. And allegedly.
Damn, okay.
And so, yeah. And
allegedly, yeah. Citation needed.
But
I think Suicide Squad looked like it costed more money, but, you know,
I think a lot of people have said this is the modern day Crash, or the modern day equivalent of E.T.
Right.
And
that happened a little bit before me and Tilly were around.
I actually have a copy of it.
I don't know how the hell.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, from the landfill. It's still half dirty and shit. Yeah.
Was it confirmed to be in New Mexico?
What's that?
Was it confirmed to be in New Mexico?
Oh yeah,
the trash pit.
My ex-wife was from New Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh shit! Okay.
I actually did not know that you were married once upon a time. That's new Tilly lore for me. But yeah, no, I remember a lot of talking when I was younger that the ET landfill was in New Mexico, but I guess there was like a documentary on the whole thing, and they tried to find the landfill. I don't know if they ever found the exact one, but because I think they went for like a bunch.
I remember seeing that in my feed too.
Maybe you can get the whole movie on it.
Yeah, they made a whole documentary on it. It was about an hour and a half.
Oh right. Okay, sorry, that's what I was thinking of. It was a documentary. Interesting. Okay.
But and also, what I do believe, because this confirms with what we talked about last time, that there was a toxic positivity culture. Like, you were not allowed to say anything bad about the game.
You could not say.
That's a yikes.
That's very bad business practices. If you cannot accept. I'm sorry. You have a bad product.
So yeah, just like what those devs I was talking about earlier, like, they said just fix it, or something like that, and doing something any criticism, they said just change it, and give no feedback, whatever, so. Imagine just having to guess what the fuck you think someone else wants.
It was kind of like whenever I think I told you about this, Tilly, when I went to that anime con at the beginning of the month for that panel that me and the morons were on.
Yeah.
It was basically how to start your own podcast, and I told them, do not be of the biggest piece of advice I could give, do not be afraid to take criticism. Always listen to your critics. If it's bad criticism or good criticism, listen to it, because even if it's bad criticism, there could be something helpful in there.
Yes, there's a reason why they're making this complaint.
Yes, always listen to criticism. It's up to you to determine if it's good or bad.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it is just as shallow as like, this doesn't have this thing, this game sucks. But foregoing that,
I'll be like, hey, do you want to make money? Then fucking clean your ears out.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, I'm sorry, that's what
communication is key.
Oh, and apparently, not surprising, the president of I guess it was Firewalk Studios, who technically started making Concord, he walked
away from it.
Yeah, he's gone, and there's no. And they predict layoffs. Like, that's surprising.
This, unfortunately, does not surprise me. Yeah.
What he did is, as soon as he sold Firewalk to Sony, he immediately left. He's like, because from what and obviously this is ad lib, but it's basically one of those things. Okay, well, I sold it. Time to get the fuck out of Dodge.
Bye.
It's one of those things. I just passed the buck. But yeah, no, the president immediately stepped down from Firewalk as soon as it was sold to Sony.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, that number came out just a couple days ago, and I was blown away from it. I was like, no way, this is real. And I looked into it, and I was like, holy shit.
No, it actually is.
Yeah, no, like you, dude. I was like, no way, this is real. But lo and behold.
Yeah.
So, children, don't be afraid of criticism.
Mm-hmm.
And do not do positive criticism or positive criticism.
Toxic positivity.
Toxic positivity. Thank you. That never leads down a good path.
Remember, feelings before facts.
Yeah.
Right. Wait, what? No.
Wait, hold on.
No, I'm of the firm believer facts before feelings, but that's just me.
Or maybe, at the point of all of our conversations, what if we just balanced out the two?
Okay,
Just saying.
I can agree with that. As if there's a fair balance between both sides, I can
Yeah.
agree.
Context.
Yeah, context. Good. That's a good one.
Honestly, I would just like get like say like $100 bill and just wave in front of my boss while I'm trying to talk to him, and so like okay, look at Franklin, look at Franklin.
One of these keys.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh god. Oh, there's a joke that popped in my head, but I'm afraid to say it. It's a Blizzard reference.
Uh,
Oh, well, we didn't shy away from Blizzard.
Yeah.
But and so y'all want to get like a drink break or something before we get on our next one, because the next one's gonna be a landmine.
I'm still.
Oh,
gonna,
boy.
I still gotta have a cup
All
of
right.
water. So I'm good.
I got my bottle of lemon juice. Let me lay it on me.
Lemon juice.
Okay.
Well, it's water and lemon.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so even when I was passing by these thumbnails for approval, this one's like, you sure you want to talk about this one? Because this one's like a fucking like minefield.
Oh boy, what am I about to see?
I mean, well, here, before you post it, Tilly, me and Tilly try to pride ourselves on being as neutral as we can, trying to give fair criticism where it can be.
Yeah.
Where
I lean, but yeah.
I mean, we do lean, but we do try to give everything a fair shake.
But this one though, it's because he's afraid if I get something wrong. Like, I never pride myself on complete accuracy, So.
You know.
Right.
We're just a random ass YouTube channel. We're no reputable news website.
We're just a couple buddies, and we like talking and everything.
Yeah.
What is this leading up to? What am I about to see? I feel like I should be concerned now.
Oh, you should be.
Oh.
Yep. I saw this and I laughed my ass off.
Look at that slug on the right. Unimpressed with this present.
We made the decision to postpone the release date to February 14th.
Slug is like, get that away from me. I will stab you.
Oh, she getting so many blades in her floof.
Oh God. If she does not have at least 20 blades on her at any given time,
hedgehog mode.
I'd be upset. I'd be disappointed if she didn't have at least 20 knives on her.
Okay. So yeah, they basically tried to soften the blow, postponing the game.
They tried to soften the blow. 2 days before the Tokyo Game Show, they announced that they were not showing up. They canceled their appearance. And a lot of people have been calling it now this is just me, and from what I've been hearing, they say some people are saying this is the ultimate form of pandering because they're having this come out during Black History Month.
Huh.
Oh,
I didn't even figure that out. But what
I mean, maybe I'm hesitant to like. I hesitate to make the comparison because I'd want some more. I want some more evidence to confirm whether or not that actually would be the case.
It's coming out in February. And February is Black History Month.
I was gonna say,
yes, but like just because it, just because it's February doesn't mean it's specifically for that.
But one of the things that I heard, I think it goes into this. I can't really read it. I'd have to pull up the actual picture because I'm sorry. Valentine's Day. That's a holiday. We need Valentine's Day.
Oh, Valentine's Day would be a great fucking holiday. Are you kidding?
But
But they said. Go ahead.
What I was gonna say is, us Sonic fans are having some deja vu, because y'all remember that first Sonic trailer, that first design, and then they delayed it until Valentine's Day, February 14th.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, I forgot that was Valentine's Day. Shit.
May 14th, the redemption
day. I hope they make it good, but also like I'm hoping they don't do the same thing that's the first Sonic movie did, and that they basically forced all of their workers to go overtime and busted their ass without additional pay.
Here's the things that I'm not a fan of is obviously they're offering refunds to people who pre-ordered it, as you should. You're not getting the product on the.
That's a good call. Yes.
Delivery day. I'm all for that. That's a step in the right direction. But they have also said if you wish to if you wish to pre-order it, once again, those who pre-order it will get a special chapter that was a part of the season pass for free.
Mm.
Problem
Which
is,
okay.
here's my complaint. I'm excuse me. Normally, I'd be okay with that,
Mhm.
but at the same time, who's to say this part that any of these DLCs were not already ready and to go with basically on disc DLC?
Like
And
on
basically,
launch, yeah.
yes, and I remember when Activision Blizzard did this with one of the last Dragon Ball games that they did. They had on disc DLC that you had to pay for to activate. Now,
Oh.
that is one of the scummiest business practices in this company,
Mhm.
this in the gaming
Fair.
company. I hate
I
how normalized it is.
understandable. I don't know if we have anything confirming whether it is like on disc DLC type of stuff yet.
But yeah,
Do we have anything on that?
I don't
It
know, but so I'm aware of all
it
the other. This game has so many different issues with going on. Like holy shit, like
yeah, there's some
yeah,
Yeah.
you got Japan hating American gamers who are insisting that Yosuke was not a samurai. Then you got freaking
Right.
them wanting to sue Ubisoft for using AI, which got Chinese and Taiwanese mannerisms in there and pass it off as Japan and saying this was an authentic experience. And
Oh.
then they never should have made Yosuke the main character in the first place. Should have always been an original character, in my opinion.
I
Yeah,
agree with
that,
Tilly on that one.
that was like
Never
ground zero.
that
That's
that
fair.
that was one of the
Yeah,
that was
I can
one of the
understand that.
that was one of the big things is because people were like, why are you why are you taking an actual historical figure and making him
Yeah,
the
like
main line?
he should have just been an ally character, kind of like how Leonardo da Vinci was helping the fucking assassins create fucking flying machines and stuff.
And just
Like
like
why just gotta be that guy?
Mhm.
Ragnar Lothbrok's sons helped Eivor in Valhalla.
Yeah. I feel I feel like I need to play the Assassin's Creed games before I add more
I
input on
love it.
that
To
end.
help you ace your history
Like,
test.
Black,
Um,
Black
oh,
Flag is yeah,
absolutely.
Black Flag will still be the best one in my opinion.
Yes, I think we talked about this last time.
We
well, yeah,
did.
this would be like if they made Black Flag, but your main character was Blackbeard.
I did.
Hmm.
Well,
He,
you do run into Edward Teach, and that's his actual name.
yeah.
You do run into Edward Teach.
Yes.
You actually do a couple missions with him, and I was actually very excited to see that. And I did love how unhinged he was, because it kind of showed his
Mhm.
mental degradation
Yeah.
throughout everything. And they actually had him with the fuses in his hat, like he actually did to make himself look like a demon from hell.
But yeah,
Oh yeah, the actual history by
but
Blackbeard.
you can imagine how
is
worse that game
fascinating.
would have
Sorry, go
been
ahead,
if
Tilly.
we would have played as Blackbeard the whole game as the main character.
I don't know if it would have done as well as it did.
Yeah.
I mean, but mainly because like the previous
Hmm.
Assassin's Creeds were always fictional characters instead of
Yeah, I
established
think keeping it
person.
as like I think the general rule of thumb of keeping it as like an external pseudo historical character.
Yeah,
Yes.
And
Um,
then you had the
I
freaking hip
think
hop
is a good
music in
call.
there. That was a weird call. But so it's like this game has so much controversy going for it, and this is because this is one of the reasons why Ubisoft's crawling back to Steam. Because this Shadows is basically their last chance, and it's got so many controversies going before it even comes out. Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah, poor Ubisoft. What the hell? Was there it again? Yeah, I did.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Hey.
Continuing on to my line again, but essentially, so I know basically Ubisoft. I was saying that no wonder they've gone crawling back to Steam because Shadows
Mhm.
was their last bastion, and it's got so many
And that
controversies
fucked
before it even
up.
came out.
Yeah.
And from what I have heard, they're I forget what it's called. It's basically where you talk to the investors and everything. Market call, or I think it's what it's called, or something.
Yeah.
Since that's coming up, I heard that's why they pushed it back because they didn't want to basically report on two flops in 1 year because from what I have told, Star Wars Outlaws did not hit anywhere near the market or hit anywhere near the goal of what it was cost to break even. And
Yeah.
from what I
So
heard,
Mhm.
they didn't want to do that 2 in 1 year and basically give the investors more ammo to be like, you guys, whatever's going on, uh, Cap captaincy is changing as immediately.
Mm.
So
Oh
this
yeah.
is,
Mhm.
It's like
if Shadows does not do well, I'm sorry, Ubisoft will either be under new management or will be completely liquidated.
yeah. 'Cause yeah, Strike One with Star Wars, which ironically is a good game. It just it costs too much. And Strike Two with S
Yeah.
Defiant, which is a good game, but people just rather just play Call of Duty. Nothing offensive about it, you know.
Yeah, and
Uh, it's competition.
it's just,
Mhm.
yeah, it's, and I'm all the other concept, or I believe that there's nothing wrong with healthy competition.
And then Strike Three with
Agreed.
Assassin's Creed
Agreed.
Shadows.
Yeah.
5 different fucking controversies, you know.
Well, yeah,
Mhm.
there's a lot of controversy with
Yeah.
Shadows.
And what we were just talking about earlier, what Tio was saying, like, I just want to play a good game, you know, with story. Because I remember just playing up Assassin's Creed game and just having a fucking good time, you know. Like that's because I'm not gonna care about any. Personally, I'm not gonna care any about this shit, you know.
Yeah.
About
Mhm.
what country it's taking place in, or or what. You know, I'm just gonna have my Assassin's Creed experience. You know, it's gonna have a good time. You know.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. One of the draws for Assassin's Creed was it is kind of nice to look at some of the other parts of the world and kind of learn some of their history, which is
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
I'm a
Hands
little
down.
I'm a little bit of a history buff. I like to learn. It's just
Mhm.
it's just the way that they are not handling Shadows with the respect that they have handled the previous iteration.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah. It's
and
like Mirage was a success. You know.
yeah,
Yes. Mirage was good.
Mirage and
Yeah.
Odyssey, Valhalla, and all those other ones did pretty good.
Yeah. Like Origins
Um,
was black as hell, and that was good.
Mhm.
So
but
it's
yeah,
not the skin color that's the problem.
it's not the skin color that's a problem.
Mhm.
It's just they are not treating the game with respect.
Yeah.
And
Like
the
it's
thing with
Mm.
disrespectful if you like. Let's just have some AI do it. I don't want to work today.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's weird because it's like they're kind of falling back into their old habits. Because remember, we was getting Assassin's Creed yearly, and
Yep.
they were making their workers like crunch, or they'll get whipped or something. You know, it's like it seems like they're kind of starting to get back into making Assassin's Creed at a regular pace again. And now that AI is saying, like, oh, we're not crunching, we're using AI this time. It's like just make Assassin's Creed every like 3 years.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
healthy schedule, you think? 3 years?
I I would say 3 to 5 years in between titles.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
again,
That's understandable.
yeah, so, and as far as Star Wars Outlaws goes, again, stop making your games look too pretty. Scale back the graphics.
Yeah, quit making graphic hogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, quit making the graphic design artists, break their fucking wrists.
I will say this. I saw some of the gameplay. Uh, put some smarter UI for the NPCs.
Mhm. Oh,
Because
UI or AI, do you mean?
UI. I'm sorry. Make the NPCs actually have somewhat of a brain. Because I saw
Mm.
like people were hiding in bushes and they were. It was like the character vanished off the face of the earth to the NPCs. And
Oh.
I saw one of them like punch. Like there was 2 stormtroopers guarding a door, and she ran up, punched and knocked out the other one, and the other punched and knocked out one, and the other stormtrooper just stood there and watched. And we're just and a lot
Yeah,
of
it's
people
like,
like,
pop out of the bushes, punch them, pop down, where the fuck she go?
mm-hmm.
Must have been the wind.
Like, I probably deserved that. Moving on.
Like hell,
Yeah.
even the older Assassin's Creed games, the NPCs knew to look in bushes.
Yeah. The first one back in 2005.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I heard that one was hard because the AI was the UI was really smart in that game.
Oh, yeah. And we cut our teeth on that one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man. Okay.
I didn't play the original 2. I played a little bit of 3 and I beat 4. I almost platinumed it, but the other trophies that were needed when I was playing on my PlayStation were for online PvP and the servers were shut down, so I would never be able to platinum that game.
Oh, yeah, those
Hmm.
are dumb trophies. Yeah.
Mhm.
PvP are the DLC locked ones.
I mean, I don't mind PvP trophies. I love them. But if you're gonna put PvP in there, don't shut the servers down like a year after the game comes out.
Yeah.
And I mean, at a certain degree, they can only help it so much.
Like there should be there should be a platinum, like an online platinum or something.
I agree.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go refill my cup. Then we'll tackle the last 2 topics.
Right on.
Oh, all right.
Glad everything's at least somewhat okay over there. Well, while she's doing that, I'm gonna at least boot up Space Marine and see if my file is still good.
Will it shit?
I hope not, because I love this game and I really want to continue unlocking stuff in the PvP mode. What I do like is your armor will transition for your custom Space Marine between PvE and PvP.
Well, that's fun.
So, like, even though I did all the PvE missions. Oh, God, I hate this. It knocked it back to my second monitor. I changed again. But, I unlocked a lot of my stuff in PvP, but all my armor is set in the. So if I were to do an operation, a PvP or PvE mission, all my armor for my bulwark carries over.
That's nice. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell I did to make it stay in my main monitor. I don't know why it shifts over to my.
Okay, I came in here and I can get swarmed by the cats.
I was.
You're fine.
What I was doing is I was uploading or trying to get Space Marine 2 up just to see if everything was going, because I didn't know how long it was going to take you, and see if my at least go into the game and see if everything kept. But right now it's just that I'm on the loading screen of pre-creating shaders, and I'm like,
okay, so last 2 topics. Do we want to save our finale for something a positive topic or a negative topic?
Let's knock the negative out.
Let's have positive wrap up.
Okay.
All right, let's give me the hatchet before you give me the honey.
All right. Bam.
Yep.
Oh yes, Pokemon finally sued Pal World, which I'm surprised how late they're doing it.
I think one of the reasons why this one finally became an issue is because, from what I have heard, they have broken the copyright infringement of, quote unquote, capturing the pals in a ball, which was considered
okay. So now this is just kind of a
at this point it's kind of nitpicky.
Yeah, essentially.
Right. Yeah. So okay.
A scummy business tactic. We're gonna patent game mechanics.
Yeah. No, that should never be a thing.
That
game mechanics.
Not Nintendo. It's a Pokemon company, and after just finished suing some Japanese game that was similar, they're like, because we said back then, like, how come Pokemon hasn't sued Power World? They're like, well, we're working on it. You know, so
yeah.
Because Power World's like, we don't know exactly what we're being sued for.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's very nitpicky.
There's a lot of flack I will give Pal World on some of its stuff. I don't deny there's still a lot that makes Pal World a good game. I can't deny that, but like there's some other stuff about World that I'm not as big of a fan of about. This is not one of them. Nintendo trying to pull this. I think it's sorry, I just heard a loud thud outside. Not only is it that was a big ass slug. No. I feel like it's a bit late with how long it's been since release. Like if Nintendo really had issues with the development of Palworld, like it should have been long before.
Yeah.
Like this is way too long afterward that they're trying to like they knew this game was coming out. This was on their radar. Like long before then. Granted, I don't know all the internals of what was going on in Nintendo while Palworld was being made. So I can't speak on that front, of course. But like, I'm. It's hard to say because I don't know how Japanese law is going to factor into this. Because I know Japan doesn't have like does have basically zero like Creative Commons like license. Their treatment of copyright is very differently compared to here in America.
It's night and day.
Yes. So on one hand, I don't see this holding much weight, but on the other hand, I don't know Japanese law to confirm.
Well, it's also another thing. I think Palworld was made in America, correct?
I don't think so. Hold on. I want to say it was either it wasn't a Chinese development company. I remember they were not American, primarily.
Things like it depends on where it's at the.
I
think at this point, it's basically where the courts.
Oh, Pocket Pair is a Japanese video game company.
Okay, so they're going to be, because I was about to say, if it was American company, it's basically going to be, okay, is it going to be in a Japanese court or is it going to be in an American court? But since they're both Japanese,
this is fully, two Japanese companies. This is going to be going through Japanese law. I'm presuming.
Yeah.
Which that I do not feel qualified to talk on.
I have.
We'll leave the corpo slug over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, best of luck, buddy.
Yeah, you're gonna need it, dude.
She looking all dapper over her bow tie and her suitcase.
Of course she has this.
Okay, on to the final.
Is that all the briefcase is full of?
No. I imagine. That or bagels.
All right. So what's the positive note to end on?
Bam.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. Oh, are they announced? They already announced that it's in development, or?
Yep. They said.
Or like that it's going to be a thing.
Oh yeah, they said there's gonna be plenty more sequels based off the Space Marine model.
Which
okay.
Is good because of the
game.
Okay, minus the headache it had to start with a lot of people having technical issues with it. The game itself is very good. But
my hope, if I may cut in,
go for it.
My hope for future Space Marine games is that they primarily focus chapters other than the Ultramarines.
I agree.
To be honest,
but to be fair, the Space Marine 1 and 2, it focused on a single character. It focused on first one, Captain Titus, and in Space Marine 2, he's Lieutenant Titus. But it's focusing on one Ultramarine in particular, and him and Malleus Calgar are really the only Smurfs that I can actually tolerate.
There's also wasn't there also the one librarian Ultramarine who I forget the name of? He looked into the Tyranid hive mind and didn't fucking die.
That was a Blood Angel.
Yeah, that was a Blood Angel.
Was it? I thought there was an Ultramarine too who was a major librarian character.
There was a cinematic that Warhammer released where it had had Robute Gilliman looking at an astropath map, and they had the Ultramarines fighting a bunch of Tyranids, and there was a Tyranid librarian that basically went head to head with the Zoranthrope, and the Zoranthrope basically turned his brain into goo.
The Zoranthropes are fucking annoying, by the way.
Oh god.
Oh yes.
Wait till later on in the game.
I'm playing a sniper. That is my top one priority. Get that thing on the ground.
I am a bulwark. I'm a bulwark main.
But, also, if you look at the bottom left there,
the Tornad Worker.
Yeah, with the tier, you see the developers saying, while we're really proud of how the Tyranids came out in that game. They felt they kind of dropped the ball with the Chaos Marines, so they want to do better.
Yeah,
Completely.
they that was kind of the consensus I saw.
How far have you? Were you able to get the game actually to play, Tilly, or no?
Oh yeah, like I watched my stream last night. Like I said, it was just when I tried to boot up today, it wouldn't do it, and then it wouldn't.
Oh, today,
reinstall.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I just checked. I was able to still go. All my stuff.
Okay.
You know what? I'm trying to remember where
So it might only be some people or certain systems.
Okay, so
basically we're trying to go after the hive mind now.
Oh, so you're fairly into it.
Yeah.
So you saw what Legion you're going to be fighting against.
Yep.
Yeah.
That blue gold drip.
That's why.
I did get up to that point as well. Yes, with the 1,000 Suns.
That's why I was a little confused why you had the Cornite Berserker there. I was like, why is the Berserker there and not 1,000 Sun?
There's just not a lot of Chaos Marine transparent PNGs.
There, I will. Okay,
That is also just a cool looking Chaos model.
Yeah.
I will say,
yeah.
even though my loyalty for Chaos is dedicated to Papa Nurgle, I will admit the Cornite Berserkers do look cool.
The corn, I got a similar boat. I got to admit the corn, the World Eaters, they got that drip. I can't deny.
They are
now
Vanguard on PvP mode.
Oh yeah, interesting, fun. Now, if you are if they do end up switching it up, if they do actually move from Ultramarines to a different Space Marine chapter, what do you either what do you think they would go for, or what would you like to see?
Oh, clearly it's gotta be Iron Hands.
Iron Hands, really? That is not the answer I was expecting.
Okay, that was a joke, but yeah.
I think.
Oh, okay.
Well, here's the thing.
I thought you were genuine.
When THQ had their hands on this, they originally wanted to. Captain Titus was going to have a trilogy, and I heard that the plan was after he got out of the Inquisition, and went back to the Ultramarines. This is before Rabute came back. Titus would eventually leave the Ultramarines and found a successor chapter.
Okay.
That was the original plan.
So a new version of the Blood Ravens.
Hopefully,
well, maybe not the.
Hopefully, with less kleptomania.
Nah, and less chaos in fighting.
But, I would like to see more of Captain, or I keep on saying Captain Titus, Lieutenant Titus.
Titus.
You just say Titus. Yeah.
Well, it's an old habit to keep on calling him Captain Titus.
It doesn't matter.
Touche.
That's what I've known him as for
Brother
fucking years.
Titus.
Brother Titus.
Brother.
Brother. But I would like to see his story conclude, because I know that there's more to him.
That is fair.
Because they left the game on somewhat of a cliffhanger.
But they know they're making sequels, clearly.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to say this. I was justified in my hatred of the chaplain.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I hated the chaplain right out the get-go. And after I finished the campaign, I was well justified. Tilly, you're going to know as well as because I know you played the first one.
Oh, boy.
But if I would personally like to see... I agree with both of y'all. I would rather a chapter other than the Ultramarines be the focal point. But the problem is the Ultramarines are the poster childs of 40K.
Yes. I wouldn't be... Yeah, unfortunately, I would not be surprised if they stick with the Ultramarines. But if they did switch it up...
If they did, I have 2 chapters. I would like to see more.
Okay.
The Volca Fenrica, a.k.a. the Space Wolves.
Okay.
And that's how you say Space Wolves in Fenrisian.
Of course. Dork. I'm joking.
Don't you judge me.
I can't say much. I also love the Space Wolves.
And the other one, the Carcharodons. I want more lore out of them.
Okay. Oh yeah, so one of the unknown foundings.
Yes, it was I believe they were part of the 23rd founding, and I want to get concrete definition on who they
where
from, because
where they come from.
Well, no, because they were originally banished to the Outer Rim to hunt the
Oh, right.
the alien, the traitor, and mutant. But
Mm-hmm.
there is a debate going on whose gene seed they really come from. People say it's the Night Lord or the Raven Guard because of their tactics, which are um,
More stealth tactics.
stealth tactics, hit the enemy hard and fast to the point where even space wolves look at the carnage they inflict and you're like, you guys need to calm down. Yeah,
Like, damn.
it's
Yeah.
bad when a space wolf and a corn berserkers look at you. It's like you got problems.
I thought maybe
And
you
the
meant the
other,
Raven Guard because Corvus Corax. He got fucked up and accidentally mutated a lot of his sons.
yep,
Yeah, that
and
checks out.
the one of the theories that back that up is that Tyberos's lightning claws, Hunger and Slake,
Mm-hmm.
or it's rumored that those are Corvus's lightning claws that Tyberos
Ooh.
modified to have chain fists as well.
Nice.
The
Maybe I can see that.
the other place
needs
where
them.
Corvus is he kind of dead, but
Isn't he like a mutant Birdman in the warp somewhere? Or was that ever confirmed?
no, I think Corvus died. I think he got killed.
This is not doing shit. But
Yeah,
That's
I
where
don't think he's dead
Yeah.
necessarily.
He's still
just
in the warp
he's
and trying
he's
to
in the warp somewhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know.
Same as oh my god, brain.
Lehman?
Same as Lehman.
But I know not Vulcan. Vulcan's somewhat probably still alive somewhere. But I know that, Ferris Manus is dead. The Gorgonite.
Yeah, couldn't handle the weight on his shoulders.
But the other theory is that
Sorry.
the Carcharodons are a successor of the Night Lords because of the mutation of their gene seed, where their eyes become pitch black and their skin becomes dark, gray and rubbery, which are very a lot of Night Lord traits.
Yeah. And
Maybe.
if you had to fight a Kagari, just rotate him, and he wins.
But there's
Just
also there's
turn
another
them.
theory that their gene seed is chimeric, where it's a bunch of the different gene seeds basically rolled up into one. So you have like the
I blame Call.
I love Belisarius Call. I will not tolerate slander against that man.
All right,
I am
he's
the
a
smartest
great
man in the
character.
galaxy, yes.
Great character. Hands down, love him. Kind of a shit.
He's a shitter.
Oh no!
For sure.
Oh no! He's a definite shitter.
Oh
Like
yeah. He's like the Imperium's
All right.
version of Savitar.
All right, Tilly. I've actually heard what you would like to see if you would see a new chapter.
I mean, the logical sense would be Blood Angels, but Imperial
Blood Angels
Fists
would be fun.
If you want to go straight up duty, Imperial Fists. Yeah, let's see.
Okay.
Here. I'm not sure about the Dark Angels, but
the Dark Angels are heresy.
I would be interesting. I would be very interested to see a Dark Angels Space Marine game.
There is one.
Like, there is.
There is a Dark Angels game, or
Yep.
a 40K game focused around the Dark Angels. It is Space Hulk Death Watch.
Deathwing.
Oh, okay.
Deathwing, thank you.
I didn't realize that was mostly Death Angels.
Yeah, that was the Deathwing part of the Dark Angels chapter.
Oh, okay.
Because for the longest time, it was the Blood Angels, I believe, for the older versions of Space Hulk. if
Yeah,
memory serves me
yeah.
correctly.
Because I remember I even got the ones you can't really find anymore.
Oh yeah, because I remember it was like Space Hulk: Vengeance of the Blood Angels. I remember Total Biscuit talking about that.
Good old Sega Saturn.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's the only thing here. Blood
I
Angels,
will
Blood
say-
Angels, 2013. That might also been Blood Angels, Ascension. Then he had one where it was the Death Watch, and then but then he also had the
Yes.
Dark Angels.
Yeah.
I think what was it, the Deathwing Company?
Yeah, that's the last one the last Space Hulk game was the Deathwing.
Let's
Oh
see.
yeah, Deathwing Company, not Death Watch.
Yeah, Deathwatch is Penance.
Yes.
But I will say I did love on the credits for Space Marine 2 at the very end, it said "in loving memory
To
of
the
Total
biscuit. Yes. Yeah, I think we also talked about that last time.
I was very surprised to see that,
Um,
but I was very happy to see it as well.
and one of those obscure, Space Hulk games. You guys actually unlock some pretty interesting chapters. You can unlock the freaking Flesh Terrors and the Nova Marines and stuff like that.
Please,
Oh, okay.
please don't tell me one of them are the Lamenters.
Oh no,
Oh, oh no.
That's
I
the
was gonna
hard
say, I
mode.
think they're just they're fucked. They're gone.
Oh god,
They're
there has to be like a low mentors with like a hard mode or something.
Oh.
You know what? You know what?
You know what? I would not be opposed to that.
You know what I've seen?
That would be just funny.
You know what I've seen a lot on online for what people are doing, because on this for the operations and the PvP, you can basically kind of customize your own Space Marine.
Yeah.
And you know what I've been seeing a lot of here lately?
What?
Tilly, you're gonna get a laugh out of this, Tilly. Nature, I don't know if you'll get a lot of laugh at as much, but there's a lot of people going around being Marines malevolent.
What?
The Marines Malevolent chapter are a successor chapter. I want to say the Blood Angels. I want to say, I can't remember exactly, but they are a universal.
Oh my god! What is that paint job? Sorry, I just saw it.
Yeah, bright neon yellow.
The bright yellow.
But
they almost look like the Angry Marines.
That was the inspiration, I believe, for the Angry Marines. But the
oh shit, okay.
Marines Malevolent chapter are a universally hated chapter because they steal war gear and they will actively kill civilians if they get in their way. It is a hated chapter.
Nice.
They are loyalist by technicality.
I remember Alpha Busa when he did if the Emperor had a podcast when he was doing that when he was doing the TTS series. The Emperor wanted to do an episode on chapters that defined hatred, and one of the chapters were the Marines Malevolent, and the Emperor actually talked about it because apparently one of the faults of their gene seed is they have I don't know if this is canon, but a lot of sources come from it saying they develop a glassy material around their ass, and so constant ass chafes. But what made me laugh was one of the custodians was reading the list, and he was like, Minotaurs, Red Scorpions, Space Wolves, Carcharodons, and then at the last one, he's like, and Angry Marines? He's like, what chapter is that? He's like, and one of the custodians like, well, have you ever heard of the Bone Knives chapter? That's a thing. And they're like, well, and the Emperor was like, when I looked into these angered Marines, I kept on getting redirected to the Black Templars. So that whole episode...
That checks out. That checks out.
That would be a good Space Marine game.
But here's the funny thing. They had... The Emperor actually summoned Helbrecht of the Black Templars to talk about their chapter. And Helbrecht is a High Marshal of the Black Templars.
Interesting.
If you ever have like an hour and a half, 2 hours to kill, look up Alpha Boosters if the Emperor had his podcast.
I will.
Oh yes. I have watched plenty.
He did one of he did one for the White Scars chapter. He did one of the book The Last Church.
Yes, I remember that one.
That was a good. And I actually saw the audio. It was a
audio log.
It wasn't an audiobook. It was basically someone animated the entire thing with kind of.
Oh yes. I remember seeing that. Yes.
It was
so good.
It was him and the Emperor's full dialogue, and it was like an hour and a half, 2 hours long. It was so good.
Yep. I guess we kind of announced that, hey, I'm making a Warhammer 40K podcast.
Woo!
I guess we are technically sponsored.
Yeah.
If you want to technically sponsored by ourselves.
Yeah, we're not sponsored by Games Workshop.
No.
I don't think Games Workshop would ever sponsor us.
No.
They're too protective of their IP.
Well, we're calling it the Warhammer Universe Theater, aka what?
I love it. I was just about to say. What's the acronym?
How did I never put that together?
Here's the thing, Nature. Tilly is a is a god tier of making acronyms.
Yeah, like this podcast
I've
is the
apparently
Waifu
learned.
Tavern Frequency, WTF. It's just
Oh my
I
god.
I still remember when you were a YouTuber, your Ellison retrospective podcast, ERP.
ERP, yep. And
Tilly's
before
Internet
that,
Oh my
Talk.
god.
and before that,
Tilly's
was Tilly's
Internet
Internet Talk, yep.
Yeah, I
Fucking
laughed.
done.
I laughed so hard whenever
Leaving.
I noticed those.
Leaving.
Get back here.
Okay, fine.
Though you can occupy the walls later. Um,
But I will say, this: congratulations to Saber Interactive.
and yeah,
You
so
Hmm.
with the
have
podcast,
made a
Mm.
hell of a product.
so with the podcast, we'll be talking about various chapters, and basically, I'm gonna be reviewing a lot of the books. And I'm gonna be talk about all the games. Like, we'll kind of want to start with the Space Marine games as well.
Did you ever want to cover the tabletop as well, or no?
If you want to cover that aspect,
I haven't played the tabletop in about 5-ish years, so
Yeah.
Okay.
Now we got a whole podcast just about the lore and the games and like the animations. And speaking of, like I said, there's an anime movie Hell's Reach, which I'm gonna make you watch, Tito. Which
I've watched about it. I've watched
Oh.
part of it on YouTube. I haven't finished
yeah,
it.
with me, I made it you fell asleep
It-
right
it
when you
act-
started getting
it-
good.
Well, it was also
Uh,
it's also one of those things I gotta have those in bite-sized bits because I will start drifting off. But I did watch some of it a little bit before we watched it together, and I think we get further than whenever I watched it by myself. It was just one of those ones where it was at the lull where it was a lot of dialogue.
Yeah, because once it
But-
gets like the 45-minute mark, then it's like
Mhm.
nonstop action.
Yeah, but it was one of those things.
Mhm.
I think we're at the half-hour mark, and it was just dialogue, and I
And
don't
it's
have a problem with it. It just I didn't really care about who was involved, considering it was a Black Templar,
yeah, it's
and
Black Templars, folks.
but it was
Hmm.
it was also wasn't the governor of the planet. I don't think it was, I can't remember if it was the Imperial Guard that he was talking to, or the guardsman. I can't remember.
Guardsman. The Armageddon Steel Legion.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was the Armageddon Steel Legion, wasn't it?
Oh, okay.
Oh
Interesting.
yeah, in nature I refuse to acknowledge the existence of Astra Militarum. No, you're in the guard, son. I will-
¿Por qué no los dos?
I will die on that hill.
It's easier to say when you're under fire.
Right?
Um,
It's easier to say
Hmm.
guardsman
The,
than
the second
when
the
you're
second
under
name's
fire.
good for marching.
I do remember there was a YouTube clip from Astartes Anonymous, where they're talking about there was a Vox fuck up, and there was a planet in Prime for Exterminatus, and it went out through everybody's comms. And
Yes.
the commander was asking I think he was a commissar, because he heard a bunch of las fire, and he's like, "Are you under attack?" He's like, "No, sir. Those are all the
No.
suicides."
Yup.
Because
Yup.
if a planet is deemed for Exterminatus, there's no getting off that planet.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Man, we really went on a side tangent there.
Yeah.
Oh,
surprise,
that
surprise.
That happens a lot.
it was also a context because we are opening up a new podcast here.
We are.
True. That is true. That is true. I'm surrounded by Warhammer nerds.
I played the game for
I even got
about.
my smart card willing to join.
I did play my.
Ooh, nice.
I did play the tabletop game for about 10 years. Started in, I want to say, 5th edition. It was still when it was kind of the not paperback, but it was like that shiny kind of real flexible material. A lot of books use it. It's not, and I guess
Holographic.
kinda.
Like
It's that silky cover and everything. It's not. I guess it's considered paperback, but it was before we started having
Okay.
hardcovers. That's when I started playing.
Oh yeah.
And-
damn.
And I'm going to talk about one of the first episodes going to be on the Space Marine Conquest series. I still got 2 books left.
Good
One of them is about 17 hours long, so
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was looking at the Red Tithe. Let me pull book up because I was listening. I
All right,
I had
but
to-
well, before you talk, I guess it's we could pretty much call it a day on this podcast.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
probably.
But yeah, darlings, we love Warhammer. We love you. And just to, I guess, summarize, to swing it back around. Okay, God of War Ragnarok's a good game, regardless of who's involved. But yeah, bad Sony. Bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Fuck Sony.
Oh yeah, the Microsoft starting up the nuclear power plants for their AI. The first topic.
Yeah.
Good luck. I hope that doesn't end badly.
I hope it ends very well, and I hope it opens up a lot of jobs for people because gods know we need
Especially
the jobs.
because I live in that state.
Yeah.
Also, we have a good old Concord, and the mystery slowly unraveling.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I imagine
Ubisoft.
this is the last time we're talking about Concord.
No, Ubisoft. Good
Are you
luck.
ready for a miracle?
Yeah.
Hopefully, you have a better 2025.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Pokemon.
I hope people enjoy future Sims.
Yeah, hope you enjoy your buying DLC forever.
I hope Sims doesn't run itself into the ground, but knowing EA,
I imagine that ship's
Ew.
eventually going to capsize under its own weight.
We should be like, you should be more like Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, sure, okay. We
let
literally
it be
had
known-
that news topic where like Sims was like capitalizing underneath the weight of all their DLC.
Yep.
yes.
And then Nintendo, just stop it. You're already printing money.
Yeah, I don't. Nintendo, I think the ship's kind of sailed if you were gonna do it.
You already have a couple licenses to make print free money. Quit it.
And Square, pull your heads out of your asses. Stop being exclusive. Scale back your graphics. You know, and like for God's sakes, you got a legacy. You do not need the freaking beads, that super pretty high tech shit. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
And let it be known that Lord Gaben wins, even if he does nothing.
Yeah. Okay. Netflix is rolling in that animation.
Yep.
Hope it's good.
Yep. And Space Marines for fuck yeah.
For the Emperor.
Love you.
Hang on.
Oh, these guys on.
For the Emperor!